Guys, check out this big green candle on CULT DAO just on October 4th, not too very long ago. This is the potential that CULT DAO has, and today in this video we're gonna argue that actually had just the overall condition of Bitcoin and crypto was better today, CULT DAO would have exploded in a huge way, but it's just the beginning of Q4 right now, in the beginning of October. So we're gonna discuss what is the likelihood of CULT DAO doing another big explosive move, just like it did in April, or maybe something not as crazy, but still something big regardless. So guys, thank you very much for joining AR7 Crypto channel once again. Today we're discussing, as mentioned, CULT DAO, really interesting coin. It's still the best performing coin actually in 2022, guys. Check this out. So it started 2022 at prices much lower than now, and we're still like 40x or so above the all-time low, or at least the beginning of 2022. So CULT DAO is still, after all the crazy bear market, among the very few cryptocurrencies in the whole world that are up from the beginning of 2022. And many people are saying that the US dollar had been the best investment in 2022. And in a way, they're right. Obviously, CULT DAO is a small asset still, but CULT DAO was better because it did approximately a 40x. So just because of that, as I've mentioned, it is a really mind-boggling thing, really, to have such a small cryptocurrency outperform in a big way. And that's why I'm focusing on this coin, is just because the technicals are telling me that there is something interesting that I need to watch with CULT DAO, and that's why we're here. So guys, so today let's discuss this green candle. As we've mentioned, I want to show you kind of step by step why am I so excited about what happened here. Okay, so as we mentioned, this is October 4th. Okay, CULT DAO basically did like a almost like a 2x, more or less, really close to a 2x in one day. Okay, and now check out why is that important. Okay, on October 4th, Bitcoin, you see, so Bitcoin was struggling here, guys. If you saw recently, it was really struggling here below 20k, and this horizontal yellow line that I have here is really important because it's the previous all-time high of December 2017. Okay, so check out what happened with Bitcoin. Okay, it was struggling, and then October 3rd, a nice green candle, and then another October 4th, as we mentioned, Tuesday. Over here, Bitcoin finally went to 20k. Okay, again, and it was rejected quite quickly. Okay, but it just like had its head just slightly above the water, slightly above the 20k, just for a brief moment, and that's it. CULT DAO just went ballistic right away. Okay, like it took a little while, it didn't happen right away. This major pump generally happened when Bitcoin was at 20k level. Okay, and then of course Bitcoin subsided and CULT DAO subsided as well. But again, the crazy thing is that every single time CULT DAO wants to explode, because our overall crypto market condition is bad, that's why it just kind of explodes and then stops very quickly. Okay, but guys, really important stuff. Okay, so in Q2, CULT DAO exploded in a big way. Okay, so this was like this major pump here. We can see back again on CoinGecko. You see, like most of this crazy pump, it was like 100x in a week or something like that. It happened here in the very beginning of April, you could say. Okay, something like so. So the peak was April 3rd. Okay, now once again, let me show you why is that so important. What Bitcoin was doing, because Bitcoin is telling us what will happen with the rest of the market. So Bitcoin, let's check. Let's find April 3rd. Okay, April 3rd, you see, so Bitcoin was still at its peak. Okay, it was like 46, 40 or so, there you go. It was like 46k. Okay, so Bitcoin already proved that it's maybe gonna actually end the bear market. It wasn't. It was like a big dead cat. It was actually a dead cat bounce. But at the time, nobody really knew. It could actually be the continuation of the bull market. So over here, Bitcoin was so impressive, and you see after really, so over here, this is where CULT DAO started pumping in a big way. Maybe here really mostly, but like Bitcoin already started pumping before. Okay, so why is that important? Is because it is a bear market, and Bitcoin generally going down. You see, we are just having lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and we may have another lower low. But the important thing, guys, is just we generally do have like some pumps, some significant pumps, especially even in bear markets. Okay, we do have some pumps, even like basically every quarter. more or less. Okay, so that was like, let's say that was the main pump of you know, in the like middle of Q1. Okay, and then this last pump was like at the very end of Q1 and at the very beginning of Q2. So it's kind of Q2 and Q1 at the same time, you know. But because we've had that, you could say it was like Q1 and Q2 really, okay? And once again, and as we've shown, CULT DAO here and many other altcoins just exploded in a crazy, like really at the craziest way in all of 2022, okay? Now, just something really important that you guys understand. I personally, because it's a bear market, I personally don't really expect CULT DAO to do, CULT DAO or any other altcoin to do anything similar to what it done here, 100x. First of all, because we don't have this same amount of degen money and same amount of craziness by people to really generate such big pumps, okay, like here. But that's reason number one, right? Reason number two, CULT DAO was much smaller than it is now, even though it is still really small. So it was easier to move the price even much more. So just something very important. I don't expect CULT DAO to do 100x in Q4. Anything is possible. That's extremely unlikely, very, very unlikely. But I think it has the potential, and it really kind of wants to like erupt and go high, like 5x, maybe 4x, something like that. And just Bitcoin didn't allow it yet. But Bitcoin could allow it because it allowed it in Q1 and then in Q2 and then this was Q3. Okay, in August we still had some really not bad coins really doing really nice moves. Okay, like CateCoin for example over here did like something like a 7x in over here. Okay, in August. Okay, so this was the Q3 pump. Okay, that's why it's important. So back over here we'll look at Shiba pretty soon as well for the video. But this was the Q3 pump. Okay, so bottom line, guys, we had a pump in Q1, Q2, Q3. We will have some pump in Q4. Now again, this pump may actually happen somewhere here. Like Bitcoin could even collapse, like let's say to 14K, and then maybe let's say we just have a pump to 19K back, something like that in December. I'm just throwing numbers. So let's say something like that happens. It would still be enough for some altcoins to still do again like 3, 4, 5x or something like that. That's why we have to watch Bitcoin really closely to know what will happen with CULT DAO as well. But once Bitcoin does have a little bit of a more of a sustained move to the upside, okay, that's when CULT DAO finally will be allowed by Bitcoin to really have like much more than just a 2x in a day. Okay, and another good thing is, like we already went down quite a lot here. Okay, so made lower lows, and now I want to compare to Shiba once again. Many CULT DAO videos we like to compare to Shiba because it's likely being developed by the same developers. So right now the market cap of CULT DAO is 28 million. Now last time when I did a video about CULT DAO in July, the price was like something like 3x more than now, maybe 2.5x. So the market cap was maybe like 60 million or something like that. Now it's 28 million from the current price. Okay, so the current price of Shiba Inu in market cap is 6.5 billion. Okay, so just for CULT DAO to reach Shiba Inu's same market cap, it's gonna be like 300x from now, maybe 200 and something x. And why it's crazy? Because of multiple reasons. First, because we're not even at the high of Shiba. Shiba is 87% down from its all-time high, and it's in the bear market. Okay, but still we're so undervalued. And if anybody, guys, here, if you remember, like if you've been here in early 2021 in this phase here, Shiba just like appeared out of nowhere. Like it just was like not even in the top 100 or top 200. It was like CULT DAO. It was like number 500 or something like that in excuse me, in CoinGecko, in the total cryptocurrencies valuations. But literally now it's 12. I'm not going into the fundamentals. Is it good? Is it bad? Is other coins, Matic and stuff like that, should be higher? That's not the point of this video right now. Just what matters is just the fact that Shiba had done that. Okay, and CULT DAO has a lot of obviously very reminiscent stuff to Shiba Inu, and of course for really significant pumps like 100x or 1000x, we need a bull run. Okay, most of the crazy gains of Shiba happened in the bull run. Okay, then over here we just had so this was, for example, this Q1 pump. See, so Shiba did here something like a 2x or maybe even slightly less. So obviously in bear markets we're not gonna have significant bumps, but CULT DAO still did the impossible and did 100x here. CateCoin did a 6-7x in Q3, and hey, Q4. I think it's really, really possible that CULT DAO will do, if over here it done a 2x, and if Bitcoin would have like went slightly higher, maybe CULT DAO could, just do maybe a double top. So let's say if we're just back to the valuation here in July from the current price, it's gonna be like a 3x, 4x. So obviously, again, we're in a bear market, so just so that we're clear, guys, this is not financial advice, and normally I don't do short-term trades, but sometimes when you see a nice opportunity, like you can take some small money, like you can take like less than 1% of your portfolio or something like that, or maybe a percent, and just have a stop loss. You always have to, if you're trading, especially short-term, but long-term too, you have to always have in your mind where's your stop loss. Okay, so just like in general, okay, let's say you want to buy here at 6.6, okay, I'm not saying this is a good entry point, this is just like an example, okay, let's say at 6.6, so you have to have some stop loss, some point when you say, okay, I was wrong, this is not going up, I don't want to lose even more money, so this is where I'm gonna go out. So let's say 6.6 is when where you enter. So let's say over here, this is where you if it reaches this price here, like 5.9, that's where you're out. Okay, always super duper important. Guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're gonna discuss many fantastic altcoins to the next bull run. My most focus is gonna be the 2024, 2025, and I'm gonna also add a little bit more and a little bit more of like how to really trade, good stuff like that. But right now, the focus of my videos in this year, in the bear markets, is just finding the good altcoins, just learning myself how to be a YouTuber and stuff like that, and just, develop additional new platforms in the future, like Instagram and TikTok. But if you haven't subscribed, guys, that's a fantastic opportunity. We're going to do tremendously well in 2024, 2025, not financial advice, but I've done quite well in 2021, and I'd like to help other people to do well in the next bull run. So that out of the way, guys, as we said, if you trade, you have to have a stop loss. Extremely important. And yeah, so lastly, guys, I believe that's really the end of the video. So as we said, Shiba Inu current market cap is 6.5 billion. I think, it's super early. It may not ever happen, really, but CULT DAO has the possibility of really going like top 20, maybe next bull run, like Shiba Inu. So like, if it's not in your watch list, at least you need to have CULT DAO in your watch list, okay? Just to like watch what's happening and just to be ready, to at least put some small money. Like, guys, what happened with Shiba Inu last time is absolutely crazy. Like if you obviously nobody knew about it here in 2020. Like let's say here when the price was like this low, look at the volume. Like this is $20 in a day. Like it was a completely dead coin, and nobody really knew about it. And look how small money moved the price here. You see, so that was like a 2x. So like, you know what I mean? Like 10k or 20k of volume in the whole day moved the price by 20x, by 2x. So you know what I mean? My bottom line is that like almost nobody really got the prices here, and if anybody did, they sold like not really here, not really in November. They sold it, way before. But my bottom line, guys, is that yes, CULT DAO is not as small as Shiba Inu in the very beginning, like in 2020 here, but it could be small, like somewhere like here, February, March. Okay, you see when the volume was already like in the six figures here, or even here in the seven figures. Like from here to the current price, it is still 100x. And to the all-time high of Shiba, I think it's pretty close to 1000x. So that's why it is literally pretty possible that CULT DAO will do at least 100x in the next bull run. So that's why it's a fantastic opportunity, guys. So don't miss it out. Just have it in your watch list. If you want to trade it, definitely be ready. Always have a stop loss. But if you want to have some nice gains and to be ready in Q4, CULT DAO is not a bad opportunity to give it a try, because it just wants to jump as much as possible, but just Bitcoin doesn't allow it right now. But just like Bitcoin allowed over here in Q1 and Q2 and Q3, it will allow an altcoin pump sometime in Q4, and we should be ready. So guys, thank you very much again for joining. Subscribe once again if you haven't already. Have a fantastic weekend and also fantastic week, and see you guys next Sunday. Cheers.